How do you fix a broken marriage? It's an age-old question. On today's case, Mrs. Williams says she would do anything to fix her marriage. The only problem is she doesn't know how it broke or even what's broken. Mrs. Williams says her husband, Mr. Williams, walked out on their 5-year marriage a month ago with no explanation, and she knows neither the rhyme nor the reason for his departure. Did Mr. Williams simply have a change of heart? Or are there dark forces afoot? Let's hear their case.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding. Your Honor, this is the case of Williams versus Williams.
Yes, indeed. And Mrs. Williams, you're the only one here. Mrs. Williams, you stand in court here today alone because you say things got so bad at home that your husband got up, left the house, and never came back. It's been a month since you've seen or heard from Mr. Williams, and I know you feared he wouldn't even show up for court today. I want you to know that he's here and he's ready to face what has happened in your marriage head on. Robert, can you go get the defendant?
Sure. Hello, sir.
Welcome, Mr. Williams.
That's me on the show, Judge.
Mrs. Williams, what are you feeling at this moment, seeing your husband, Mr. Williams, for the first time in a month?
I'm feeling a lot of emotions. I can't explain how I'm feeling right now. It's overwhelming.
Right. Well, I'm glad that Mr. Williams decided to come in, but I guess I turn to you, Mr. Williams. I know this is very difficult for you also, sir. Why did you decide to leave?
It wasn't about the marriage. It was about what was going on in the marriage. I mean, how much is a person supposed to take? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Especially when you are expressing that things are detouring your mind and messing with your mental. You know what I'm saying? What man will leave his wife and kids and house and be gone for 2 months? That's a man that's hurt.
I can imagine that if someone that's been married for 5 years, that was not an easy decision on your part.
No, it wasn't. I deal with it every day.
So, Ms. Williams, why don't we at least go back to how you met? Because there had to have been some happy times.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Williams and I, we met online. So we talked on the phone, and we talked all night until the sun came up. We never got off the phone, so we kind of vibed real heavy. We was just a joint to the hip after that. I mean,
yeah, because I understand. I'm looking at the case file. You guys, I'm talking quick, fast, and in a hurry. 2 months later, you end up starting a business, a catering business, and 6 months later, you got married.
Yeah, he went a little fast. He did.
Well, you also went fast with him because you got married.
Yeah, that's true. He proposed to me, but when I said no, he broke up with me.
Mr. Williams, why did you jump so far?
I was
so far and so fast.
I was attracted. You know, I just felt like, you know what? This is the one. This is the one. I did feel like that. Nobody just gets married just to get married. You know what I'm saying? When you get married to be with that person, accept that person, flaws and all, good and bad and all that.
At least the marriages that you want to work. Because, you know, folk get married for whatever reason they get married for. But from what I'm hearing from you is you looked at Mrs. Williams and said, she's the one.
When we first got together, we was like a joint to the hip, and then all of a sudden, he MIA. My husband liked to run the streets. He liked to stay out. He liked to party. He liked to kick it. The first time he did it, he didn't come home, and that's where the problem started in our marriage. Everything turned to the table because he didn't come home one night. Oh, where you do that at?
I don't do drama. You understand that? I didn't get married to go through drama. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
like, it was
down.
a lot of things that was going on. The hatred, the way she talked to me, the difference,
tell the judge
how she felt about me. Like,
relationship.
1 minute you love me, next minute you hate me, next minute this. Like, how many times do I have to go up and down in a marriage?
Tell
you understand?
Judge Starr
I'm married to be a father, to be a husband.
One at a
time.
One at a time.
Kids. You understand that? When I stepped up and did that because the other didn't, that should have stood some ground. You understand what I'm saying? You are weak, you this, trying to tear me down all the time. I'm hurt. You understand me? This is not a game to me.
I think for the first time, Mr. Williams is getting a chance to say what's on his mind.
Okay.
You said that's what you wanted to hear.
Yes.
So, Mr. Williams, it is so clear that what has ever happened has taken it up to here for you. It's so clear.
It has.
So I assume that there's a family here that regardless of what you all decide, there's going to be some trauma in that family.
Judge, can I say something? What woman tells a man that you know these are not your biological kids? These are not your kids. What woman says that that's not your daddy? Let's be real. We know that. Only way it's here is because of the paper. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have no biological kids, none, never. Come on, man. I got married because I wanted a family.
Why are you so controlling?
Thank you. Oh,
Mrs.
my.
Williams, help
I'm
me
sorry.
understand that. Why are you so controlling? What's going on?
I became a person that I'm not even proud of being. And
But why would you do that?
Because my husband wouldn't talk to me. My husband wouldn't even lay with me.
That's
my husband
a lie.
would come home
That's
to
a
me.
lie.
My husband put the world in front of me.
She went live on social media for 2.5 hours, okay? Degrading me, talking about the business.
So what you're telling me here,
gay accusations, wild,
she
crazy
put this on
stuff.
live.
Yes, on live. I watched it for 2.5 hours. I didn't say nothing. I didn't comment. I was heated.
Why would you do that?
I didn't trash him, but what I did was because I podcast, right? And I podcast about love and relationships. And my husband, the only time he would ever talk to me or deal with me is if I'm going live. He want to make sure, because his image is everything.
Cut to the chase.
She lying.
You know what? I don't even care.
And he did know that I was talking about it.
She's lying.
He did
No.
know that.
Did you say over a 2.5-hour period that this man was gay?
Absolutely not.
So
No.
that did not happen.
I did not call my husband gay on podcast. No, what he's talking about was I was talking about our relationship on the podcast. I did do that.
She's lying. I have been called so many. Okay, let
I
me tell
told
you.
him that
Listen,
personally
Judge,
at
I'm
home.
not
He's
a-
talking
so
about what I
listen to
said
me, listen to
personally
me.
at home. The
Listen
reason
to
why I said that, Your Honor, is because he shoots
I have
all
a
his
witness.
friends in front of me.
You know what? That's exactly.
Yeah, let's
I
just bring the
understand that
witness
there
out.
is a
You
witness.
understand?
I'm not-
Because
I have
I'm not.
been called so many things. I have been
Mr. Williams,
degraded.
this is the
No, he's
easiest
talking
way
about
for
what
me
I
to
said
do
to
it.
him personally at
This
home.
is the easiest way
I
for
have
me to
done
do
that.
it because Mrs. Williams,
It's
somebody lying.
She's
I have
lying.
done
Let the
that
judge
at home.
speak.
You know what? You're the most disrespectful people that I've seen in a long time. You asked me to judge your relationship.
that, Judge.
Yes, what you came here. So I'm just asking you to be respectful of me. People are not gonna be respectful of you if you come into a place that you've requested and you can't even be respectful enough of me. I'm just asking the questions.
I didn't call my husband gay.
She's a liar,
I talked
man.
about everything that was going on. I talked about his friends. I did not call Mr. Williams gay. I did humiliate my husband.
Okay,
on
Mr.
social
Williams, I
media.
need you to calm down for a minute because
I did
you
that.
don't need to do this anymore. Honestly, you don't. You know what? You have a very smooth way of talking, but I'm gonna tell you something. You also a straight up liar.
I have called my husband that at home in private because he chooses all these guys and people over me. Just like when I asked my husband to do something for me and one of his best friends, Tony, say, no, I want you to do this for me. He would ask me out and go with his friends. I'm
Well,
like,
you know what? Let me ask Tony because I understand Tony is here. Tony Brown has been called as a witness on behalf of the defendant. Robert, will you please ask Mr. Brown to join us? Because I would like to cut to the chase.
Yeah, I do too. You got to be real. This is my life. This
Mr.
ain't
Brown?
a game. Your Honor, this is my life. This is not a game.
How you doing, Judge?
How you doing, Mr. Brown? Thank you very much. Mr. Brown, what's your relationship with the defendant?
Johnny's my best friend, pretty much my brother.
How long have y'all known each other?
Over 10 years.
So you've been his friend longer than he has been together with Mrs. Williams.
Yes.
What's your opinion of their relationship?
When it comes to Queen, she's a liar. She's controlling, manipulating. She's pretty much breaking my friend down.
Are you in a relationship?
Yeah, I'm married.
You're married. How long you been married?
Been married, be 12 years in May.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So, Mrs. Williams, is this the person that you say has been a bad influence on your husband?
I have attacked many people in our marriage because my husband have made me feel like everybody was before me.
This man right here has his own life.
This man doesn't know me, and I don't really know this man, but in our house...
But wait a minute, you said before he walked out of here that this man, Tony, was somebody that has been put before you and has come between you
By
and
my
your
husband.
husband. Okay? This gentleman is standing right here, has known him for a dozen years, and you all of a sudden now, this man don't know me.
Well, I'm saying personally, this man don't know. He only know me because of what my husband say
Wait a
about me
minute.
to
Wait,
him.
I'm about to go into, because I want facts.
Okay, can I speak?
Mr. Brown, did you hear this alleged podcast or this live on social media?
We watched it together.
Did she cast aspersions on Mr. Williams during that 2.5 hours?
For 2.5 hours, she pretty much threw him under the dirt.
Tell me what was said.
She accused us of being gay because we hang out. She confessed to tapping his phone. She tore him apart for everybody to see. It's extremely disrespectful.
Mrs.
And
Williams,
I don't wish that upon nobody.
you lied to me. You straight up lied to me.
I did not call my husband gay on that podcast.
And guess what she did?
She said so much to me, man.
Guess what she
Wait a
did?
minute,
about our
wait a minute. I'm sorry,
relationship.
Mr. Brown. You lied.
I didn't call my husband gay.
She is a liar,
I talked
man.
about everything that was going on. I talked about his friends. I did not call Mr. Williams gay. I talked about love and relationships.
So you know what you did? Stop it.
Williams
You
gay.
know what? You have a very smooth way of talking, but I'm gonna tell you something.
I
You
never
also
called
a
my
straight up
husband
liar.
gay. Okay.
You know how to manipulate language. What you did to this man is you tried to humiliate him. That's what you did.
But I did not
You
call
need
him
to stand
gay.
in the space of truth, ma'am.
I'm standing there.
Okay?
Facts.
You
I'm
need to
standing
stand in the
there.
space of truth.
I'm
You
standing there.
humiliated this. No, sorry.
I did.
Sorry. You tried to humiliate
I
him.
did.
Because, Mr. Williams, let me tell you something. Can't nobody take your dignity. Nobody can. And there's nothing wrong with being a gay person, but if you're not, that's a mean thing to do.
I did
it's
humiliate
disrespectful.
him.
This man right here, Mr. Brown, got his own family.
Yeah.
Doesn't that impact on his life?
I did
He
humiliate
never
my
told
husband
me
on
to
social
leave my
media.
wife.
I've never,
Ever.
no, I've been, my
Never.
marriage
Wait a
just
minute,
hasn't been
Miss-
open.
always told me, bro,
Judge
work it
Starr,
out.
I did humiliate my husband
Okay,
on
Mr.
social
Williams, I
media.
need you to calm down for a minute because
I did
you
that.
don't need to do this anymore. Honestly, you don't.
I've been living in my car.
I know.
I
you don't
did
need to.
that.
Sir, no. No. You look at me,
No,
bro.
you-
look at me. Look at me.
I got married.
Look
I
at
wanted
me.
to be
Look
married.
at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm looking at you. Look at me. Come to this space. This is where your boy is. Stand there with your boy for a minute. Stand there with your boy. Okay? Because you don't need to. Miss Williams.
I love my husband, okay? I want this to be on the record. I love my husband. I made a mistake when I went on social media.
No, that's not a mistake, Mrs. Williams. It's a foul and disgusting thing
It
to
is,
do.
and I said that.
It's a foul
I
and
said that.
disgusting
But that's the
thing to
only
do.
thing that I did. That's the only thing I
That's
did.
the only thing that you need to do. Mr. Brown, I
That's the-
apologize to you for you being put in this position.
Thank you.
The things that you have pulled in this marriage
I
on
apologize
this man.
for that.
I'm so sick and tired of people in our society thinking that you can hurt folk and there are no ramifications for it. You want to know what the ramification is? Robert, get them papers. If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. Mr. Williams, you can return to your table because I think you have some paperwork there. Mrs. Williams, it's rare that I have sat in a situation where I have seen a plaintiff bring a case to court when in reality, you should be the defendant. The things that you have pulled in this marriage on this man.
for that.
Just because you say I'm sorry don't mean a
I
doggone
brought
thing.
it to the table.
But
I stood and I've done things, and I apologize for that. I did that.
But who wants to be married to you who would humiliate?
But
I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to.
I have been a good wife, and I apologize for that.
Excuse me. You don't get to say you have been a good wife. It is not a good wife to go on and humiliate your husband.
I did that, and that was
damage
wrong.
his reputation, and damage his ability to make money, and damage
No,
his friends.
I didn't damage his ability. No,
Excuse me, Mrs. Williams, I'm talking you in my house now. Be
Okay.
quiet, lady. I'm not sure if anybody has ever told you, but you need to sometimes lay in the cut.
I did.
And be grateful for somebody that wanted to be a part of your life.
And I'm saying I did that wrong.
Okay, ma'am.
I did that
You know what?
wrong.
This is the culture that we live in right now.
And I apologize
No,
for
excuse me. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'm biased. But the culture that we live in right now is that people get to say and do things, and then when they called on it, they say, I apologize. And you're supposed to be okay with it. I'm so sick and tired of people in our society thinking that you can hurt folk and there are no ramifications for it. You want to know what the ramification is? Robert, get them papers.
Yeah. So I got these papers, man. I'm tired of being disrespected.
Let me see these
I'm
papers.
tired of being downed. I don't got to take that, you know what I'm saying? I done lived all my life. I don't have to be, I wanted to be married. But I wanted to be married to a good woman.
These papers say original certification of dissolution of marriage.
Facts.
Okay? You ready?
Facts.
Robert, hand this to Ms. Williams.
Is there any way that we can go into mediation before these papers?
This is what you wanted. You've been telling me this forever.
That's not. I haven't gotten to talk to my husband before
I got all type of stuff. I don't want to talk.
I haven't gotten to
Guys.
I'm talking to the judge.
I understand, but you're both interrupting.
Okay.
And it has to stop. It has to stop.
Mr. Williams, here's the only question that I have. Is there any coming back?
I'm done.
We have kids and everything.
I'll still be around for the kids.
No,
man.
can you
I'm
please?
torn down. You understand? I've been gone 2 months living in my car.
No.
You understand me? The only thing she could say was sending me text messages about you ain't this, you this and that. You left your family. That's all you care about. And it's like, no, that's not it. I didn't even want to talk to her.
I haven't even talked to him.
Text
Can
her,
I
none of
please
that.
have a conversation
Robert.
with him, please?
Mrs. Williams, let me tell you something. This is not my marriage.
I know, but I'm asking him, Johnny, is there any way before we sign them papers? Because I haven't had a conversation or
I
nothing.
don't want to talk. Jeez.
Mr. Williams,
Please.
my job
Please.
is to provide you with a, quote, safe space. Robert, let me have those papers.
Please.
Let me have the papers.
Without
And
any-
excuse me, Mrs. Williams, I'm talking to your husband right now.
She done told me.
Mr. Williams, I'm going to ask you a direct question. Your wife has asked for the opportunity to have a conversation with you. This is totally your decision, sir. Your decision and your decision only. And I respect whichever way you decide and you determine. And I would like you to make your own decision, not what Mr. Brown thinks, not what Judge Starr thinks.
I had more than enough time to think about what I wanted to do.
And that is why I'm asking you the question, because it's only what matters to you. Sir, do you want to have a private conversation with Mrs. Williams?
No.
With the mediator.
done.
With the mediation before. please.
Mrs. Williams, there are some things that folk can't come back from.
Done.
And there are ramifications for it. They really are. It's painful to watch a relationship. And he does, and let me tell you, let me be very clear.
I can't sign them right
You don't have to sign anything right now. But the one thing I can say for certain is you've been served. Mr. Williams has told you in no uncertain terms that the marriage is over.
Okay.
And Mr. Williams can make whatever determination he needs to make at this point. But I can tell you for certain, I don't know how you come back from trashing the person you claim to love publicly, humiliating him, challenging, excuse me, I'm talking to you, challenging his manhood, and then begging for an opportunity to mediate. That should have happened before you crossed those really thick lines. Those thick lines that say you don't value our marriage.
Okay.
The fact that Mr. Williams signed those papers today says he believes you when you say it. This
Okay.
marriage is done. Well, Robert, that's as real as it gets.
Talking about getting my work cut out for me, man.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I got the feeling he was a gentle giant until she had just pushed him completely over the edge.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how much do you have to go through?
No apology ever is gonna fix it. I don't know why this culture is so headstrong about, oh, I apologize. Like that means something. Some things you just can't come back from.
Right.
That's one of them.